Hey guys, I hope this is going to be a quick one. I hate it when he tells me to make a video right now. It's like, I really just don't. I'd rather not, but I know that it's important that he wants me to talk about certain things that, um, by he, I mean God. He wants me to talk about certain things just because we're bringing light to what's been going on. We're exposing the sneakiness and learning from it and trying to improve things in the future so that we don't have this kind of thing going on, or that we can use it beneficially, or I don't transforming. Things have to come to light in order for them to transform. So I thought I would try to get a good sleep last night. I spent a lot of money on a really nice hotel at a casino that I've slept at before, and had actually the first really good night's sleep I've had in a while. Um, but once they were on to me liking that place, now it's like just, yeah, now they're onto it. But I did get that one good night's sleep there. So I'll probably never go back there again. But anyway, because it's as bad as all the rest. What I've discovered, and this is going to be so hard for normal people to understand, because it's always it's like a foreign language to us. We don't understand that there are so many people out there that are so hateful, and we don't understand why there's a religion on how to do black magic on people and take advantage of other people and steal from them and lie, cheat, and do all that kind of nefarious stuff. I mean, it's hard to even imagine that there's that going on, let alone that there's like that they have like a network and they communicate very effectively. I mean, they have everybody lets each other know if you're a targeted person. Now, this isn't going to happen to just anybody, but if you're a targeted person that they really want to make a point and they really want to be hurtful to you and they really want to, they try to create fear. They try to make you feel like something's never going to end. They try to make you feel like committing suicide. They try to make you feel like desperate. They try to make you feel, they try to get you to flee from place to place to place so that you're like on the run, running from them. There's a lot behind what they're doing, and part of it is to be able to do all these other things as well. So that's just part of, go on. She got mad that I did that. What, do you want to be in the video? So, basically, they have their, and it's all involving like voodoo and black magic and stuff that we don't understand and we would never partake in. It's just to have control and get things, and it's mostly about money and power and um, trying to force people to do things. It's just bullying, basically. It's just bullying to get something out of you that they think that you either have now or you will have, or like I talk about sometimes about this. Some of this stuff I've had to learn on my own and learn from other people, because I just didn't have a clue either. I was like, what the hell? Like, what? That's so weird. Like trying to steal somebody's destiny. Like, who does that? And why would you do that? And they've gotten away with it. They've actually gotten away with really hurting people, killing people with no conscience at all. They could care less at all. I mean, these are the same people who do the sex trafficking stuff and that rape and kill children and sell them and lend them to people for money and like all of that stuff. They don't have any true compassion, but they study how it looks to have compassion. They pretend and they play, and they some of them are better actors than others, but you would never know. And they go to church and they hide amongst us. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But now this is one of the weirdest things. I've stayed at a number of different hotels, and this is like I don't want to name any names. But I stayed at a very, very nice hotel. Is the first time that it happened where I had to ask my doctor what was going on because it sounded like there was a washing machine down beneath me, and I was getting stomach aches at night and diarrhea and all that stuff, and it was very uncomfortable. I couldn't get a good night's sleep. So I asked him, I said, "What's going on?" And I've told you a bit about this in another video, but that's when it started is he said there's a man-made, he said it was a man-made, some type of magnetic EMF device, uh, on a level 9 or something like that. Okay, you can be on the video. Stop. I just gave her a massage. I give my cats massages with those like automatic massage machines. So she wants more massages. Let me give her a treat real quick so she'll go do something else. Jeez. Jeez. Okay. There. Okay. So anyway, they are amongst us, and they team up together and they spy for each other. They'll know your license plate, what your car looks like and stuff, what you look like, and they'll tell everybody. Wherever you go, one of their group members will tell all the other ones, like through text or email or whatever, and they communicate. They bought this, they did that. Then they keep tabs and they watch where you're going, what you're doing, and all. It's very creepy. And I've said this before, like if we had this for good people, it'd be awesome. It'd be like we could all take care of each other. It'd be like, hey, so and so just broke down alongside of the road. Can somebody go help them? It'd be like good stuff like that. It'd be awesome. Or it'd be like, hey, I just made too much for dinner. Does somebody want to come over and have some dinner? I think we're coming into times like that. I don't know if we're going to have a network quite like they have, because I mean, it seems pretty extensive. I don't know. I'm impressed by it, seriously, because I've never seen communication like that. But the thing is, they don't have each other's back and they have no loyalty. They're not really actually friends. They're just kind of in on the greed. Like, how do I get money out of this? How do I? So what they do is there's people who will stay in these hotels, and there are a lot of people who work for hotels that are part of this too. And you would, like I said, you'd never know. They're really nice. And they pretend to be really nice anyway. They know how to do that. Some have taken classes. I've watched channels that talk about like ex-Satanists, and they'll tell you that they were raised and they've taken classes on how to pretend or act like you have empathy for people. These are total narcissists or psychopaths or sociopaths that do this, that join this kind of thing. Because, somebody with compassion or empathy would never do this to people. They would just go get it on their own. They would earn it by merit. They would, like I've done, like they've just like would start at the bottom and climb very, very slowly to the top. And they would, earn it through actual wisdom and knowledge and falling on your face and getting back up again and maturing and all of that stuff. But they want to just, skip to the having the treasure. They don't have any patience for that, and they don't care about anybody. So they just will do anything, and they'll lie, like that other person I've been talking about. They'll lie to do anything. They'll just make stuff up. They'll figure out what they need to say, and they'll make up some story to get you in trouble or whatever, just to get you to where you can't get the prize and they can. So, for her trying to trap me right now, it's to keep me from what I'm going to get. And there's no way that God's going to allow that to happen. Nobody's going to be able to, they can't pull their tricks on somebody like me who has a mission like I do. So they used to get away with it in the past. They cannot get away with it now, but they just have this. They just won't. They have too much pride and too much ego to just admit that there's no way that this is going to happen. They just, and it's just fine, because the more they go, the more they prove my point. Everything that I say just keeps getting more and more reinforced and more proven, until they'll finally be like, oh, I guess she was right about it all in the first place. Maybe I made a mistake, but not that they'll ever say that. But it's like, it's time for a truce. It's over. It was already over a while ago. Everybody needs to just quit it now. It's everybody. I'm not going to do anything. I just want to be at peace. I just want to be left alone. I just want to be able to go have a good sleep at a hotel if I need it, and not be bugged like that. But so yeah. Anyway, it started at that really nice hotel in town. And then it happened at an Airbnb, it happened at another Airbnb or a vacation rental place. And I mean, it's happened so many places now, but this one blew my mind because I was like, I'll go stay there if I don't feel the bed vibrating and feel electricity shooting up my body in any way. So I told the lady, and the cool thing about this is how God works is I'm not afraid to look stupid or to look crazy or whatever, because I'm not. I'm completely, totally very mature, very sane. And I say it like it is and I tell the truth. So I went into the front desk and I said, I will stay here, but you got to promise me that if the bed starts vibrating or, any kind of electricity thing happens, I know what they sound like. I've heard all of them. So I said, if I, and I told her about, the direct energy weapons. I talked to a manager of one hotel who admitted that he was on a Facebook chat for managers, hotel managers, and he said that there's been talk about that. There have been some guests that said that they woke up very sore and in pain, and their neck stiff and like all kinds of symptoms and feeling sick to their stomach and feeling just horrible the next day. And they've reported it to the front desk saying my bed was vibrating. I felt all this, stuff happening to my body and whatnot while I was trying to sleep. And the hotel managers like didn't know the guy that talked to me. He's like, I didn't have a clue what was going on. Stop. Come on. Gosh. Now of all, she has this uncanny ability that when I'm concentrating on something, like talking to you or doing paperwork or like any kind of concentration, she messes with me the most. Like, and I just grr. So these wonderful little tests of life. How patient can we be with an incessant, needy one that has to have your attention all the time? So, so basically, that when I told this hotel manager, he goes, "Oh my God, that makes so much sense." He goes, "I totally believe it. I totally believe it." Um, Although it's hard to believe. So anyway, I go to this hotel last night and said, if you'll let me move to a room that does not have a vibrating bed, blah, blah, blah. And she was so patient and she was so nice. I went to four rooms I had to switch because every single one of them, I would lay back on the bed and I'd wait a minute. And sure enough, I would hear it. I would hear it and then I'd be like, okay, so what's it doing to my body though? And then I'd feel all this like electricity come through my feet. Or I would feel like something with my legs, or I'd feel like I would feel it in my body. My body would react, or my stomach would start getting cramped, and I'm like, shit. I don't want to be a bother to these people. They're going to have to clean every one of those rooms that I went into, and I really hate to do that to people. It's such an inconvenience. At the same time, though, they need to be aware that this stuff is happening and not allow people to do this sort of stuff. They need to have an eye out for those devices. They need to be more, they need to realize that there's a problem and it's a big problem. And, it's only for targeted individuals like myself, like I said. And it's only now until they all go to jail because they're all going to get caught and they're all going to be in serious trouble for doing this. They've gotten away with it for so long that they're cocky and they laugh about it and they think that they're going to get away with it forever. But that's not the times we're in. It's just not happening. They're going to get every single one of them are going to get caught. And believe me, I have so many people watching me, the FBI, the CIA, yeah, my phone is tapped from every angle. For the bad guys listening to me, good guys listening to me, the military knows what I'm doing and what I'm up to. They're like keeping tabs on me too. And the militaries are the one that's in charge right now. Not the police like you think, but the military, because we're in martial law right now and a lot of people don't realize that either. But anyway, I have a lot of people watching me. That's why people don't mess with me like overtly, is because they know that everybody would see. The good guys, the bad guys, and everybody would have they're all going down. So it's just a matter of when this whole thing happens, and they got to get everybody. They got to get everybody. So they're watching me to see who messes with me, and they watch, who watches them and who watches them, and then eventually the whole thing goes down. So That's what I've put together, what God's told me, a lot of the stuff I've seen, and a lot of the ways that there's a lot that's brought me to that conclusion that that's what's happening right now. Some kind of sting operation, and it involves like a lot of good-hearted people. Thank you, you guys, if you're watching. Of course you're watching this. Thank you to the good-hearted people, the people who are working hard behind the scenes to bring justice to this type of stuff that's going on. I know you guys know about it. I've had them come and turn the devices off before. They don't do it all the time, but every once in a while they give me a little miracle and they'll come turn it off. So they know that they exist and they've seen them. They know how they operate. The military, like some of these guys they're in the know. They know what's going on. Anyway, 4 rooms. And finally, the last room, I thought, okay, I can tell that there's one there, but it doesn't seem to be either. It's turned down really low. Sometimes they trick you. They'll start it really low and then they turn it up as you're sleeping and then it gets worse. But I thought, okay, it doesn't sound like a normal one and then it doesn't hurt as bad. My body's not reacting to it as bad. I could probably get through it. So I actually paid good money to sleep in a bed that tortured me again all night. I mean, it was either that or go to the car. And I was like, I want a different experience. I just want to be somewhere different. Just give me a different environment. I don't really care right now. I want to feel a sense of normalcy. I just want to look around and be in a nice big bed in a nice room. And just even if it's just the aesthetics, I just wanted it to be different. So I went ahead and did it. Sure enough, I woke up and hurting, my stomach hurting, my legs hurting, my heels would hurt trying to walk to the bathroom. I was limping, and by morning I could definitely hear it loud and clear. And the other sound that was kind of drowning it out a little bit had faded. And I figured it must have been some kind of an engine or something like air conditioning or something that was going on too. And I don't think everything is a direct energy weapon. I mean, trust me, I know the different sounds. And if it sounds like a different sound that I'm used to, then I can totally let it go. I don't go, oh, it's probably going to hurt me. I'm not paranoid like that. I do have the ability to separate sounds, but the direct energy weapons have specific sounds. I would say there's about 5 sounds. They all sound pretty distinctly different, but once you know those sounds, you know what they sound like, So, yeah. So for the 4th room, and I still didn't get a good room. I don't know how many rooms I would have had to get to actually. What they do is, and here's the thing that they don't understand, because there's like one of the rooms was like, well, there's a conference room underneath though. Like there's nobody in there and the lights are out. Yeah, but it's also locked. I went down there and I looked at approximately where that room was, and it was in a conference room and the door was locked, of course. So they have so many different types of devices and things that I don't know what it looks like or what it does or anything. The one they have in my car, I have no idea like how that operates or how they're able to hide it. It's obviously not like a big one like I saw. The one that I saw was probably like about that big-ish. But they have them set up, and since people are so clueless and they don't have any idea what to look for, and they just don't even know what they sound like, or that they're painful, or that what their intent is, people just are so clueless about so many things that are going on in our world. I mean, it's baffling. But this is part of the Great Awakening. It's not only waking up to who we truly are as God's essence within us, but it's also realizing all the different ways that we've gotten duped I mean, this is a frightening thing. I know that it's really hard to listen to me sometimes and to hear some of this stuff, you guys. I know. I mean, I used to be all fairies and unicorns, and I still am, and I love all those things. I still laugh a lot. I still love so much, and I always will. It's just that we need to clean up this earth. We need to clean up the darkness. We need to turn the tables. We need to turn things around and start. I mean, these people are unhealed, but what caused their pain in the first place was trauma, being treated like crap. So then they go and perpetuate it and keep it going forward. Well, I would like to see all that end. So whatever caused these people to be psychopaths today and narcissists that torture each other, run around torturing each other, other people, and tormenting them, they, if we can just avoid that in the first place and start having healthy relationships in a healthy world and where there's not that kind of stuff being perpetuated like that, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like everyone to just be able to be themselves and to be happy and to have the things they like, and everybody to have plenty of money and plenty of resources and plenty of abundance and all of it. I want it all to be good. I just don't want anybody bullying or picking on each other anymore. And if I have to be the one who's receiving all the bullying right now to make a point and to bring awareness to it, I'm happy to do that. I'm God's vessel to be the example of this particular thing, because this is apparently what I chose before coming here. And I'm going to go through it until I don't go through it anymore. But as I'm going through it, I'm always going to be this open book, because that's who I am. That's what I do. I bring light to things. I bring truth to things. I bring honor to things. This is just part of my mission and being here. This is why God chose me. Because, I've got a lot of Libra, and that means that I am all about fairness and justice and truth. So, like anybody who knows me, who's watched me for all these years, would know that I would never do something deceptive, mean. I would stomp. Obviously, I've told you guys sometimes when they fire at me really hard and it's like for a long, long time and stuff. There have been moments where I've stomped around, but honestly, I've only done the stomping probably 5 times in the entire over 3 months now. But I've even learned not to retaliate, and I've learned, there's, we all go through that stuff, but I would never plot vengeance on someone. You guys all know that. I would never do black magic on somebody. I would never do, because some of them think that I'm like, well, obviously they're projecting because they think I would do things that they would do. I wouldn't do anything that would be wrong or bad. Definitely not intentionally. I mean, I might do something and not know that I did it, but I would never intentionally hurt somebody or do something mean to somebody or something. I would tell them something that I knew was true, that they needed to know. I would do that. I would warn them and say something about somebody just so they know, but I would do it from wanting to protect them and wanting them to know, hey, you're getting duped. This person does not have your best interest at heart. I would do that, but again, it would be truth, and it would be something that, anyway. So what they do though is that they have people that are staying in the hotels that are, well, in this particular place, they were gambling at this casino and whatnot. And so they've got a lot of people who are there all the time, and they do it, and they're all part of this network. They're all part of this church group, satanic church group. And all they had to do was be like, guess what? Amy Satori's coming to the hotel tonight. And they all get excited because they're going to get paid if they torture me all night with their device. So they're all got their devices in their suitcases, they're all ready to go. Which room did she go in? Which room did she go in? She went to, 224, 224, she's right over me. Yeah, I can do this. Or I happen to know, or have the key to the maintenance room that's right under there. Perfect. Or I have a device in the laundry room. I'll go put that on her. Or whatever, they've got them like all over the place. So 224, okay, she's not in 224 now. Oh, damn, that means I don't get paid. Okay, so 225, she's going to 225 across the hallway. Oh. And then that guy's like all over it, and he's getting his device out of his suitcase. Yes, my night to get paid, and they're up all night, and I'll roll around in the bed. I'll just roll around like 2 rolls or something, and it's like quiet, peaceful, nothing shaking, nothing vibrating, and then it starts. Like I always say, I describe it like Jaws, because it's like it just dun 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 dun, and then it's like really intense or whatever. So so I roll over, I roll all the way to the other side of the bed, and I'm like, 5 seconds of peace, but it follows. So I don't know how these devices like can tell where you are. When I get up and go to the bathroom, I can hear it or feel it and hear it on the tiles underneath my feet. So you can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. It happened I went to, I don't know if I told you guys this or not. Same thing happened with the gas station. Like there was like a little lounge room where you could sit in these big comfy chairs. I played musical chairs. I would sit in a chair and it'd feel nice and comfy for like 5, 10 seconds. And then it would start, vibrating the chair. And I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like there's no way I can go to get away from this. And then I'd switch chairs, go over here, go over there, go over there. And I started like playing with them because I was just like, well, fuck you, you know? Like, I mean, I'll do that. I'll do that just to mess with them and just make them work harder for their money or whatever, because they shouldn't be doing that in the first place. So, but I'll do stupid stuff like this, but that's it. And so I did that and kind of laughed, because it's just like, what else can you do? You have to have a sense of humor about it. You have to be playful and have humor about people trying to torture you everywhere you go so you can have no peace anywhere. And that's their goal too. They want you to be in fear. They want you to have no peace. They want you to not be able to think straight. They'll even put stuff in your food, your water, whatever they can get away. They'll even know, they'll be like, oh, she's coming through the drive-through the place that you work. Oh, perfect. I'll go get that vial of E. coli and drop it in her drink. I got E. coli and salmonella in the same week. I've gotten plastic in my food. In another video, I list all the different stuff. The most recent one they did was some kind of acetate chemical put in a drink that I drank. An acetate chemical. I don't even know what that is, but and they put they put plastic in something too. Yeah, it caused a stomach ache. So anyway, they pile it on like that. They do it from all these different directions, all these different people and stuff. So you start feeling sick and you start feeling down and you start feeling defeated and you start having anxiety and you start having panic attacks, which aren't yours. It's black magic, and then they'll put black magic on you. They'll do like voodoo to attack your heart so you feel like you're having a heart attack. You have to be so aware of yourself and to know not to take it personally. You have to learn to forgive because they know not what they do. You have to learn what's yours and what's not. You have to take care of your body so that you can purge the shit that they put on you. You have to be discerning so that you don't look crazy because they're trying to make you look crazy. That's the other thing. They want you put away somewhere. They want you to leave and flee and be scared so that they can go haunt you at the next place and the next place and the next place. I mean, it's like this endless thing. They'll keep coming after you. So it's ridiculous. And they don't give up. They don't give up, even when it's well over. Like it is now. Like this is so over. There's no possible way they're going to achieve anything. But they're still, she's still doing it. And those guys still did that to me last night. I just can't believe it. Like they have no idea with how well I'm handling this whole thing and how well I'm doing. They have no idea the hornet's nest they're like creating for themselves in the future when it's the divine perfect timing. And they don't believe that's going to happen. They think they're getting away with this. But there is going to come a day, and I know because I can't believe it hasn't happened yet because God's always been so protective of me, you guys. It's been incredible. Like I haven't known why. Now I've, in the last year or two, God's told me like why, and then I've told you guys because he told me to tell you. But back in the day, I didn't know why a lot of bad shit would happen to me. A lot of stuff would happen to me, but all of them had really bad things happen to them as a result. But you get new people that don't know. So being that they've been getting away with it for as long as they have with me right now, the only conclusion I can come to is God's going to get a lot of them all at once. God's going to bring them down. Like he's just letting it all be watched and observed, and then boom, like bowling balls, like pins going, like all of them. Bam. Because in the past, like the minute somebody would be like a really horrible boss to me and just be really, really bad, like within a week or two, the guy would be dead. Or the person would have something like their life would fall apart. Or this has been happening for me for really, I've known I'm protected for many, many years. So for him to be letting this happen is for as long as it has, I know there's a reason for it. But these guys don't have a clue, and they're laughing and they thinking they're getting away with stuff. And the smarter ones are leaving me alone. They know what's going on. you know, like the leaders and stuff. Like some of these, you know, some of these other people, I know I can sense it. They're like watching her and watching any of these other people, and they're like, you guys don't know what you're doing, you know, and they're like kind of nervous for them, but like, okay, I guess you're gonna be gone pretty soon. I better count you out, you know. So yeah. So anyway, I think at this point it's over. We need to just call it truce. I'm not going to do anything. All I'm doing is educating people. I'm not even going to talk about this incident once it's over. It's like, or I will later once it's really over and everybody's in jail and everything. But I'm not going to like, I'm not going to, I don't even care to talk about the situation anymore. Once it's done, if we all call it truce right now, I'm just like, can we just go back to how it was before you started attacking me and just don't even call anybody a winner? Let's just walk away from it. You know, that's the point I'm at right now. Like, this is really stupid. Like, there's no point in it. Nothing's happening. And, you know, all this is somebody's ego is their butt hurt and they can't stop. They just won't stop because they're just holding on to their ego. That's it. You know, drop that and we're done with this whole thing. It didn't work out like it usually does for them, and that's it. Period. And I'm not going to go after them. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to be like, just let God do what he's going to do. I'm just going to let it unravel naturally the way that it's supposed to. If they get away with it scot-free, I guess that's the way God wanted it to be, you know? But I just want to be left alone. I just want to be left alone now. I do. And I think they know that that's the smart thing to do too, you know? But I don't know. They haven't really been listening so far. So I doubt their ego will let them listen now. But, you know, at some point you got to kind of get smart, you know, you got to quit making the dumb decisions and start actually thinking like logically. If this isn't going to work out for you the way that you think, which it won't, why continue the charade? You know, why keep it going? And why involve more people that are then going to have a mark on them? You know, everybody, all those people that were putting devices in my car and stuff like that, oh, you guys are in big trouble with God itself, you know. And he's the one that pulls all the strings for everybody else involved that's been watching me for the last couple of years. I don't know how long these I don't know, agencies have been watching me or whatever. I don't really care. I just know that I've seen enough proof of it for the last couple of years, and a lot of my clients have reported, you know, hearing things when they talk to me and stuff. So they know, you know, they know as well. So anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to, that's what God wanted me to talk to you guys about today, is just if you guys know somebody who works at a hotel or is a hotel manager or something like that, we gotta get the word out to them, and let them know that this is what's going on. This is what's going on in our world for now. I do, you know, I do know that this is all going to change, and that this is not going to be a part of, obviously not going to be a part of our new earth anymore going forward. There's not going to be any more scamming, lying, cheating, or any of that anymore. We have the quantum financial system, guys. Like, somebody wouldn't be able to, like, okay, let me just tell you this. As it is right now, all we'd have to do is take a lie detector test, and you could tell who's telling the truth and who's lying in a situation, right? I mean, just right now, if somebody accuses me of something and lies and said that I did it, I'm taking a lie detector test immediately, and so are they, because they're lying, guaranteed. That's going to be the proof we need, because there's not going to be any other proof. Number one. But even better, with the quantum financial system, you cannot have a transaction in the future. It has consciousness. It actually can sense whether, you know, the consciousness level, and they can tell if somebody's under duress or being forced to do something, or they have nefarious intentions, and the transaction will be shut down and declined. So in the future, it's going to be like a no-brainer. People who walk around with money are the good people, and the people who don't, they've been lying, cheating, and stealing and scamming. That's it. And we're going to have like this super sophisticated identification system too, to where your identification can't get mixed up with anybody else's anymore ever again. They're going to look at our retina. They're going to look at our fingerprints. It's going to be so extensive that there's no way to mimic it or anything. So who you are is who you are. I don't even know if you're going to need a password anymore. It's going to be so cool. You're not going to have to, because sometimes they make you jump through hoops to try to like, no, that really is my account. I really want access to that account. Well, what's your IP address at the time that you did that such and such or whatever? How would I know? When's the last time you logged in? Oh, like I wrote that down, you know, stuff like that. That's a thing of the past. There's going to be so many incredible things happening that I'm so looking forward to and so excited about. But these guys just, they don't understand that we're in new times. We're in new times. So it's time to change. It's time to change. It's time to look at things differently. It's time to, it's kind of an oh shit moment, for the bad guys. Yeah. And you guys know that everything I've said so far, I've pretty much been right on, haven't I? Have I ever lied to you guys? Like, no, no. So anyway, I, yeah, I want good for everyone. I want love for everyone. I want peace for everyone, even the bad guys. I want, I would like for this situation to transform, I would like for a lot of good to come of this. Of course it's going to. Everything really bad or traumatic in my life has always ended in miracles. So I know that incredible things are going to happen up ahead. Then I know that there are people who've actually been looking out for me. And like the person that shut off the device for me, that was very sweet of you. Thank you. And anybody who removes the devices from my car currently, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I know some of you know, not to do that. I know that you know not to do that. It's not worth the money. It's not worth it because, yeah, it's not going to be fun, the price you have to pay. And you're going to have to give all that money back in some way or another. If somebody paid you to do that to me, it's trust me, it's not going to be worth it. You're really going to regret it. You're really going to feel like, oh my God, I was so stupid to ever do that. So please don't do that to yourself. And if you ever want to change your ways, if you ever want to, like I've done too much, if you're thinking I've done too much and I've done so many horrible things, I can't forgive myself. I can't imagine going into some happiness in the future or whatever. I can help you through that. Just watch me. Just watch me on my channel, because I don't pigeonhole anybody. I don't say, oh, well, you were a bad person, so that you can never change. I think that's ridiculous to do that to somebody because there's only ever the moment. There's not a past. There's not a future that's even relevant. The only thing that's real is what's here right now in this moment. So, I'm always cheering all of you on. I care about every single one of you who's watching me. You may be mad at me for whatever reason. I don't know why. Either you were lied to, maybe somebody said that I did something that I didn't do or said something I didn't say, or you got pissed off that I was a little cocky. Well, I'm sorry, but God tells me to be cocky and confident sometimes. That's how he wants me to be. He wants me to be blunt and deliver it straight up. And I swear sometimes, yes. But I'm here to help. I'm here to help. And I want to help anybody that I possibly can, even you guys, even those of you who have been doing bad. I forgive all of you already. I don't even care. It's been a part of my training and it's been something that needed to happen. I'm not going to necessarily trust you or have you over for dinner, if you've been like trying to kill me, but I'm smart. But I'm just saying, I'm coming from a really good place. Bad guys. I'm coming from a good place. So don't believe anybody who lies to you and tells you anything about me doing anything nefarious, because I wouldn't be involved in anything nefarious. And if you want to change, please go back and watch my Ask Amy Q&As. I think those are really helpful. And the talks that I was doing before all this happened, like from 2024, just watch all my stuff, because I think I could really help. And you can let go of the past, whatever you've done, you can let go of it. You can not torture yourself with it. You can get in the present moment and things can change for you, radically change for you for the better. Maybe even if you go to jail, you'll be an inspiration to everybody in there. You don't know. It might actually be cool. And you might get on really great behavior and you might get out early and you might start some kind of foundation. I don't know. You might rescue animals or, do something to kind of make up for whatever you've done in the past, or do something for children to help children rather than, treating them like a commodity or something. So anyway, no, I didn't want to go on forever about this. And I really didn't even want to do a talk today, but again, we really need to get the word out about what's going on at hotels toward targeted individuals. Just because we're supposed to know this stuff. We're supposed to be willing to take a look at it, and we're supposed to do something about it to change our world for the better. So, okay. Love you guys. Send you a big hug. Thank you for those of you who've been emailing me, and thank you for your donations. Thank you for any of you who are doing anything, praying for me, any of that. And I mean, I'm sure if I spent time with any of you who are watching right now, we'd end up being friends. So there's no animosity there. I care for all of you. So those of you who are just being hostile to me, you just haven't learned how to heal. You haven't learned to, you're dealing with your own stuff and you're just putting it on me. You're projecting it onto me. Like I'm the one who's doing something. I'm not doing anything, but being peaceful, and trying to make things comical wherever I can and whenever I can. And so anyway, again, love you guys. Even my attacker. And I call truce. I wave the white flag. Please just let me be who I am. Let me be in peace. I'm not even loud. I don't even disrupt anybody. Don't do anything wrong. Just let me be. Just let me be. Because you're not going to get whatever it is that you're wanting, And the rest of you, just please don't hurt me, because don't continue to hurt me with those devices, because even though you might be getting paid to do it, go get paid to do something else, because it's not going to end well for you. Like I said, I've had bosses. I've had people go to die from writing me a horrible email and for being a bad boss. What are they going to do to you who intentionally put a device on my car to torture me? Trust me. This has been going on way, way too long. This is going to be the most serious consequences I could possibly imagine. I mean, I can't even, I'm not even wishing it on you guys. I'm just saying, please be wise. Please be wise. Don't get involved. Don't even say bad things about me. If anything, try to clear my name. Try to prove that I'm telling the truth and that whoever's out there lying is full of shit. Try, if anything, if you want to earn some points, if you want to earn money, then you'll get on my side. Then you'll start doing things for me. That's because you're going to get on in God's good graces, and you're going to some of you could even make up for some of the stuff you've done to me by doing good for me now. Taking those devices off my car. If you know how to look for those and take those off, please do that. Even if you weren't the one that put it there, just please take them off. That would definitely earn you some serious points. If you know that there are people targeting my hotel room like last night, be the guy who busts into the room and tells the guy, knock it off or whatever. I don't know. Do something for me. Do something for me, or to make it up to me, or whatever. And that's probably, again, I'm sure that's going to take whatever you did to me down a notch, or a few notches even, depending on what you do. So please, if you've done wrong by me, please do something about that for your own sake. you know, because I don't really care. Like I said, I've forgiven you guys, and I'm going to be as tortured as long as I'm tortured, and I'm in it for the long haul. So, I don't want to, but if I have to, then that's just, I'll just get more in the end, I know that because God's told me that. My guides have told me that. A lot of readers have said that as well. Like the more that you go through, the more you're going to get. So, and that's friendships, that's love, that's not money because we don't care about that stuff. I mean, we care about it for safety and security, but we don't care in terms of like flashing it around or for our ego's sake. So look at that cool car I've got or whatever. My car isn't flashy. It serves a purpose and it does a good job. But I don't think it's flashy. I don't think it's at all flashy. But I needed something that would be able to do a lot. Anyway, okay, that's it. I'm going to shut up and get going and hope you got something out of this and hope you can pass it on to somebody who needs to be educated about hotels in specific. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.